History is an amazing thing, and as you get older, most appreciate it a lot more. And the coin that you see before you here is a piece of history. I'll explain why this is important, but I'm going to be talking about yet another gold coin that will rewrite history radically. Let's explore! The coin that you see here on your screen is the 2023 Britannia, the gold Britannia, showing the image of Queen Elizabeth II. This is the memorial effigy because she died the previous year, but the Royal Mint made these before she passed away. So they issued these as part of 3 gold bullion coins showing the Britannia on the reverse of the coin. And this is a coin that has made history because of that. And I think that probably likely these coins that come from the motherland, if you will, the United Kingdom, may hold a premium in due course. But nonetheless, so it's an historic coin. So if you have one of these coins in both gold or silver, I would hold on to them. They may not get a whole lot more expensive, but I think they'll probably have a little bit of a premium tied to them. But so that's history there. The Queen is the longest reigning monarch of the United Kingdom, and her image is on more variety of coins than any other individual in the history of the world. And I've talked about that in prior videos, but that is fascinating to me. But this coin is going to be even more fascinating. This one right here. This is a gold coin that was recently discovered that will rewrite history about another ruler, a precursor to a British king. In fact, I'm going to be referencing an article here from the Daily Mail that asked the question, could this be a new British king? I don't think so, but it definitely is an unrecorded Iron Age ruler, which definitely lends to the credence that, he may have been the equivalent of what a king would have been in the day that it was found. A gold coin has been discovered in Hampshire, and it's stamped with the name Usenertos, a previously unrecorded Iron Age ruler. And British history may have been rewritten following the discovery of a coin stamped with the name of a forgotten Iron Age ruler. Was found in this field by a metal detectorist. Usenertos is I think the right pronunciation there. And he may have ruled as king from Danbury Fort and have called the find one of the most outstanding discoveries of recent decades, according to the report here. If you enjoy videos like this, where I do like to talk about precious metals treasure, I have a whole playlist of them. And I hope you enjoy these videos and will consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Initially, the coin was expected to fetch around £4,000 at auction, but it set a new world record after being sold for a staggering £20,400 this past week. And found by this guy right here. Pretty amazing. This is, I think, a little better image of it. Shows a little bit more depth and detail of the piece. Of course, I don't really know how they get the word, get that word Usenertos from these images on the coin or from the design elements. I guess it's right there. I guess that's where the word is written. Fascinating indeed. But there's the individual who found it. It was dug up by Louis Fudge in a farmer's field in March of this year after he got permission to detect. I'm over the moon. If it were not for the people in the auction room, I would have jumped around, Mr. Fudge said. The collectors I spoke to are gobsmacked. I'm so glad I did not take them up on their private offers before auction. I imagine not. Wow, crazy. To think my find has generated its own Wikipedia page is incredible. Yes, well, Wikipedia is not known for its accuracy, but nonetheless, that is pretty fascinating. So who was Usenertos? Leading Iron Age experts have studied the coin and deduced it to be struck by a preeminent male figure dubbed Iisvnirtos, whose name translates to mighty as the god Essos. One theory is that he possibly ruled as king from a Danbury Hill fort, which we'll get to here momentarily in the video. Dr. John Sills of the Celtic Coin Index at the Ashmolean Museum said it's one of the outstanding discoveries of recent decades in Celtic numismatics. Expected to fetch this 4,000 pounds, it got 20,400, including the premium, beating the world record for a similar type coin, a Medusa quarter stater, set at 10,800 pounds. The coin was struck sometime between 50 and 30 BC, shortly after Julius Caesar's first Roman raid of Britain in 55 BC. He landed on the Kent coast from a fleet of ships carrying 20,000 Roman soldiers. Folks, the island has never been conquered of the United Kingdom except for this time and one other time, and that was in 1066 AD. The British Isles, those are the only two times in history where that has occurred, so this was a big event in world history. Waiting for them on the beach were thousands of Celtic warriors, but the Romans were forced to return home after struggling to land in rough seas, wrecking their boats. So in this case, they were not successful then. And here is an image of the area today, an overhead image here, called this find one of the most outstanding discoveries in recent decades. That's what it looks like now. This is what it conceivably could have looked like in its prime. Pretty amazing, pretty wild indeed. Caesar returned the following year with 50,000 soldiers, defeating many tribes, and marched all the way to the River Thames. But after 3 months of fighting, they left to stop a rebellion in Gaul. The long-term settlement of Britain by Rome didn't occur until 43 AD, when Claudius was emperor. So it just goes to show you that it was tried twice. And now we know that Britannia is kind of the image of Britannia is sort of the vestiges and the remnants of kind of what was in that day. And you can see the Roman headdress here and indicating, the Roman rule at the time and the roots of the Roman Empire that date so far back as the most widespread empire in the world. Amazing. Leading Iron Age experts have since studied the coin and deduced it to be struck by the preeminent male figure, as we've talked about before. So one theory is that he possibly ruled as king from this Danbury Hill fort. And Gregory Edmond, who's an Iron Age coin specialist at auctioneer Spink, who led the team of experts in the recording of the new find, added that the fabulous piece of prehistoric artwork completes the mental image we have when we think of the Iron Age Britain, the war horse and chariot, but it also surprises us with the appearance of classical languages like Latin. This is the reason I come to work to document the discoveries of national importance and share that knowledge directly with museums and amongst academics, collectors, and the public at large. And he finds this personally vindicating for him. He focused his degree on the Roman invasion of Britain through the lens of Britain's first coinage. To now add a critically important contemporary witness to those seismic events in the birth of our island's story is electrifying. Despite the coin's diminutive size, the name of its conceiver, Eusynertos, now truly echoes down the ages. Indeed it does, completely rewriting history. That's pretty amazing. Eusyneros was once forgotten, but now his name looms large in the historic record. It doesn't get any better than that. That's a pretty amazing thing to see. Let's take another look at the coin in this image here, which I think gives us a good view of both sides. You can see the letters there. Kind of hard to witness, kind of make out, but you can see the imagery here. Pretty powerful, pretty amazing. And of course it was struck from gold, which means that gold has proven itself for thousands of years, even back then from the rulers, the Celtic rulers in the day before they were conquered by the Romans, that they indeed saw gold as a store of wealth and value. And I find that intriguing, fascinating, and a romantic idea of the idea that gold is eternal, at least as long as the earth has existed. It's pretty amazing. Let me know what your thoughts are on the story. I hope you found it informative, insightful, and educational, and maybe somewhat inspirational. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video, and to encourage you to please rate, share this video, comment on this video. Yes, if you put your comments down below, I'd appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so that you can be apprised of the latest video that makes its way across your device. Comment and subscribe.